So at this point, I have owned 4 other VR headsets, and while I've seen immense promise in VR from the very beginning, starting with the original Dev Kit 1, and have loved the experiences that I've had with these headsets, one thing or another has caused me to sell or return those headsets and have immense reservations about VR going forward. There's a video that I have that's just me kind of thinking that I had made my final conclusion about VR. And then the Oculus Quest shows its face, and that thing immediately piques my interest. Full 6 degrees of freedom VR experience with no tether and no PC. It almost sounds too good to be true. So is it worth it? And does it, quote, fix VR for me? And just to note, this isn't sponsored or anything. I've noticed there have been so many sponsored Quest reviews. This was just kind of purchased on my own. And I am going to be talking about sideloading once we get into kind of the experience of the device. But real quick, we're doing a giveaway at 600 subs. We're giving away a copy of A Hat in Time on Steam. So we'd super much appreciate your support. If you want a chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe. And we have a lot more VR content coming out, so if you like this, subscribing might be good for you. Alright, let's start with that headset. So the tracking uses 4 cameras, and it uses Oculus's new inside-out technology. Basically, what this does is the cameras look at objects in a room, and they're able to identify those objects and then track those objects based on your movement, which gives you full 6 degrees of freedom. And I found the tracking to be absolutely, unequivocally fantastic. It has worked better than my Rift S in the exact same room. I've had 0 issues with tracking. Honestly, it's been insane, at least from the headset perspective. Controllers we can talk about, but the headset is what causes you to get sick, so that's the critical one for me. Comfort, this is not the most comfortable headset. It's very front heavy. It's fine overall. It's definitely, honestly, probably the least comfortable headset that I've ever used. Maybe like the original Vive without the deluxe audio strap. But there's some good news there. There's 2 bits of good news. One, I've seen something called a Frankenrift, or there's many ways to kind of fix this front heavy issue, but the coolest one I've seen is called a Frankenrift. It's where you essentially buy a Vive Deluxe audio head strap, and you just replace the whole headset with a Vive Deluxe audio strap, and that fixes the audio solution that we're going to talk about, and it also makes things much comfortable, is what I understand. But the other kind of blessing, if you do decide to just keep the standard strap situation, is it is the easiest to pull on and off very quickly. And you can even move the headgear out of the way altogether. Like, you can just move all the straps up and press it up against your face real quick. And this is really nice for helping friends in a menu if you're doing something social, because this is ultimately the most social headset. It's great for hopping in a menu, or great for hopping in and checking something, verifying something. Yeah, it's from that perspective, it's super easy to just take on and off and push onto your face if you need to in a pinch. And the screen looks really good. Not all games run at the full resolution, but this is like the highest resolution Oculus panel, which is kind of weird to think about since the Rift S just came out. It is not running at a very high refresh rate, though. It's only 72 Hertz. I played Beat Saber in both the Rift S and the Quest because I was thinking that's kind of a faster paced game, and you can like kind of notice it, but it doesn't affect your performance. It's more one of those things that when you're waving your hand in front of your face really fast, you could probably tell the difference, but it doesn't matter that much, at least in my experience. The only additional thing I'll say on the screen is I didn't play any table tennis games, which I understand probably are even more require a higher refresh rate than something like Beat Saber. And the battery life is 2 to 3 hours, which for me is no problem because I can't spend that long in VR. I usually find that I'm either playing a highly aerobic game like a Beat Saber or like a fast-paced super hot game where I don't really want to be in there for more than an hour anyway, or I just don't want to be in there for 3 hours. But the cable's long enough that you could easily either throw a battery pack in your pocket and have one small wire that is not going to tangle you up. It's just running from your head to your pocket, or you could, you could probably just run it off the wall, but then you have the wire. So don't do that. But let's go on to the controllers. Controllers, I've talked about this in the Rift S video also. It's weird because these were basically like revolutionary when they first came out, the first iteration of them, and now they seem a little dated. They're totally serviceable, and they totally do the job, and you can do finger movements and stuff, which is nice. The only thing I would say, and again, you can DIY this, would be I wish Oculus had like an official strap that let you let go, kind of like on the Knuckles controllers, or the Index controllers, but without all those additional sensors that would increase the cost. Just literally put a strap on it, and that will honestly enhance the experience, because then you can rest your hands and you can naturally grab on, and it'll still naturally grab with, the grab buttons. So that's okay, but you can make that yourself and you'll have a great experience. The experience, guys, oh my god, wow. The onboard games are mostly great. I have faith in the chip going forward. One of my biggest reservations was, can an old Snapdragon chip handle VR and the tracking and the Guardian system? And yes it can. Everything runs fine, and I know that this headset isn't going to be running Skyrim or Fallout anytime soon, or ever. It will never. But there's a workaround that we're going to get to a little later in the video. And it turns out, like, if you're looking to get into VR, go onto the Steam VR, like most bought games, and just read down that list. And aside from Skyrim and Fallout, for like big games that you don't think could make it to this platform, just see what else you're interested in playing. Look at that and think about it. It can probably make it onto the Quest. There are very few big AAA games that you would really, really want on the Quest. The vast majority of good quality experiences that people are talking about, things like Beat Saber, things like Super Hot, things like PokerStar VR, all of these are simple, even on the PC side. And therefore, you're getting the best VR experiences on the Quest. The freedom of not having a tether is amazing. I cannot imagine playing Super Hot tethered. I haven't done it. I've only played it on the Quest. But I can't imagine playing Super Hot tethered. I've done Space Pirate Trainer tethered and not tethered. It's so nice just not being tethered. It's amazing. And that makes the whole thing just more portable in general. The headset turns on instantly, so there's no more turning on a computer and setting up software. And you can easily move it from one room to another or one house to another without having to set things up again. The Guardian takes 30-ish seconds to set up, I would say, once you get good at it. But I can take my VR headset and watch a movie in bed, or watch something in bed. If I want to go then to the living room and watch a movie on the couch, I can watch a movie on the couch. If I want to play Beat Saber in my living room and then my girlfriend comes in to do something in there, I can move to the back room and easily, it remembers your setups. You don't have to reset things up every time. It's instant and it's portable. I can take this to a house easily. It's like literally a headset, a cable, and the two controllers. Throw it in a bag, take it to a house, and we could be playing Beat Saber in a matter of 2 minutes. But there is a compromise that I do want to talk about, and then there's a workaround, which I want to talk about. The compromise, and this is something that I am kind of still a little... This is probably the biggest ding on this headset as a whole, is the closed ecosystem. Every VR headset, or every PC VR headset at least, including the Oculus Rift S, which just launched, is fairly open. Like you can buy a game on Steam VR and use it on your Oculus headset. You can buy a game on the Oculus store and use it on your Oculus headset. This is a fairly closed ecosystem, and it's so closed to the fact that some games are cross-buy, where if you buy a game on your Quest, you then get the PC version on the Quest store, or on the Oculus store. But some games, in fact most games like Beat Saber, games like Superhot, if you buy it on the Quest and you want to play it on PC, you would have to buy it again on that platform. So if you're thinking, I'm going to buy this headset and in 2 or 3 years down the line, I'm going to upgrade to another headset, like a PC VR headset, a full VR headset, not that this isn't full, you will have to rebuy your games, and that is a big deal. And going forward, like, it's not, you can assume that there's going to be this, independent VR platform going forward, but like, will I have to buy my games again on the Quest 2? I don't know, and that's just kind of a bummer. But there is a workaround, and it's something called sideloading. You can put your Oculus Quest into developer mode, and you can load in content from your PC. And this is two parts. One part, if you don't have a PC VR ready capable PC, you can still load games or load content. So you can load developer projects, you can load alphas or betas of games, but then you can also load in like mods for Beat Saber, for example. If you do have a PC capable or a VR capable PC, then this opens up a whole new world, because assuming you have a good enough internet connection, you can actually stream your PC VR games to your Oculus Quest, which effectively makes it the ultimate VR experience, because you're getting portable VR and you're getting full PC VR when you're in range of your PC. And this just opens the door, because you now have totally wireless, room scale PC VR, and it looks great because that screen is so good. And for me, personally, it's worked great. I have a 5G router and I've had no problems. And I'm showing some Fallout 4 footage right now because I played Fallout 4 on the Oculus Quest. And that's just amazing. And here's the conclusion, guys. This is the headset for me. This did fix VR for me. This is, of all of the headsets I've used in the past, this is the culmination of it. It's portable, there's no wires, there's easy setup, it's social. You can play it in a room with friends. You can bring it out into the living room. You don't have to bring out your whole PC and set it all up again and recalibrate everything. And it effectively has PC VR built in if you know what you're doing. And I love this. This is way better of an investment for me than the Oculus Rift S. Personally, I do have another video where I'm going to kind of go through why. But that's all, guys. I hope you liked the video. Catch you guys next time.